Okay, everyone, this is Aaron with Exalted Lamb back again. Man, there's been a lot of things going on, of course, today, yesterday, and today. And as I originally was started talking about that tropical storm or tropical depression, I guess, 14, which became, of course, which I knew was going to be a hurricane, of course, and I said this in my previous videos. This is all planned. It's going to hit 21st, 22nd, or 23rd. I'm not exactly sure. It could actually go across a couple of those days. So I wanted to start off by kind of reminding people, or if letting people know what's going on here. So I want to talk about another subject that hits this time frame as well. And so I want to talk about a cover story. So of course, right here, as you see, cover story is a magazine article that is illustrated or advertised on the front cover. But number two is it's a fictitious account invented to conceal a person's identity or reasons for doing something. Okay, I could also put in here, it's a fictitious account invented to conceal a government's reason for doing something, okay, or the deep state, or whatever you want to call it, okay. And if you're new to this, then you need to look into these things. Look up false flag. Look up. There's many things you can look up. And there's a lot of different people that do information on this kind of stuff. But if this is kind of new to you, then I am going to share some things with you, an example here. So let me start with that. So here we have this little girl, and she was in the news recently. I don't really watch the news for the most part, but I've seen this in articles and things. And here's this little girl, and this raised a lot of emotions for people. This is kind of funny how these different events they used to get people's emotions involved, and it's usually for some kind of false example. So for a cover story, a fictitious event designed to cover up the real intentions. Okay, so there's an example of this little girl. In this article, they basically talk about this iconic image that's causing all the controversy. It became the viral symbol of Trump's zero tolerance immigration policy. A toddler from Honduras in a pink sweatshirt, just taller than the knees of her mother, who is being searched by Border Patrol agents. The girl's face is frozen between a cry and a scream. I mean, it tugs on her heartstrings. It would anybody. It's so intense you can almost hear it through the still photograph. So these people are masters at this kind of stuff. Okay, but the truth is that that's not what this was. Too many, the picture of the 2-year-old Honduran girl and her mother, taken by award-winning Getty photographer John Moore, who's followed the border crisis for years, embody the horror of Trump's zero-tolerance policy to prosecute all people crossing the border illegally. Now, again, you have these, these false things of, this senator going, this, Democrat senator going to these former Walmart and asking about these different things, and so they set this up. So because of course the mass, what they want to do is they want to control the population to believe that just basically securing our border is bad. Now, of course, there are situations where people handle it badly or whatever, but that's not what's going on here. They're completely stacking the deck, and this is where they admit this. So this picture helped fuel public outrage that forced Trump to backtrack by issuing an executive order to end the practice. Okay, separate. So my point is that they basically threw this thing on Time magazine. You look at this thing. I mean, there's this girl and there's Trump looking like an evil dude. Okay, now I'm not on the side of Trump. Oh, I'm not on the side of Trump. I think he's in their pocket. Let me go back here. I think he's in their pocket, basically. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this perception and how government kind of controls the narrative, and they create cover stories, and then, this is admitted that this was completely not what this was, and Time magazine put this example, this girl, which has been admitted that this is not what this girl was crying about. Okay, they put this, right on the cover here of Time. So it's meant to manipulate the public, basically. Okay, so that's one example I want to show you first. Okay, now here is another cover story. If you're not aware of this, this is why I'm putting this out right now. Again, almost 11 o'clock at night. On Popular Mechanics, so it's legit, right? Sure. Okay, NASA is launching a submarine to the seafloor. They're not hunting for aliens, but instead trying to learn how to hunt for aliens, right? Okay, so they got this picture and they show them at the bottom of the sea, and this is the volcanoes venting somewhere, wherever this is. Okay, um, NASA is about to send a submarine to the bottom of the ocean. The mission may seem like a departure from the agency's primary occupation of lofting things into space, but NASA has a very good reason for taking a closer look at the Earth's seafloor. So basically, what they're basically launching out here is this subsea, short for systematic underwater biogeochemical science and exploration analog. It's a two-pronged mission. It serves as both a test bed for the kind of equipment we'll one day want to send to a watery moon, and as a way to study the biochemistry of such an environment. On Monday, August 20th, NASA will send this mission off the coast of Hawaii. What? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Do you actually see this? So when this hurricane is supposed to be hitting Hawaii, or well, they're basically saying it's now again, this is predictable. Okay, they're first saying, oh, it's on the path of Hawaii. So they first acknowledge it's on the path to Hawaii. It's in all the news reports, days and days before, and then you hear the same stuff. I remember hearing this with Harvey, with Irma, with Jose. I mean, all these different ones where they've hit land, caused devastation. At first, they say, "Oh, it won't go there, not that close," or they make it look minimal. And then at the last day or something, it's off the track. It's going to hit. I mean, it's like a standard old movie plot. Girl meets guy, girl loses guy, guy comes back. I mean, the same old stuff. I mean, most people don't have the memory for this. I remember. I remember how these things in the past happened. And if you can remember how these things happened, this is crazy, okay? They are basically setting this up. There's going to be a submarine at the same time as a hurricane at a volcano. I mean, has anybody seen this? Anybody at all? Okay, so this I'm just bringing you more evidence that they're going to send a submarine. So it's kind of funny because I had originally told people that I knew and everything. And I didn't put these in my videos because I didn't want to throw that out there yet. And I've thought about throwing that out there, and then all of a sudden I see this article, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So what I have hypothesized that they might do is that they're either going to bring this hurricane over Hawaii and then have it slow down and then rain like crazy on it until it causes that to happen. Basically, the East Rift Zone to fall over the Helena Slump and then fall into the ocean, causing a mega tsunami. Or they're going to basically put a nuke or something in the geothermal vents that they've created where they're doing fracking and stuff, and they have something in there. Or the other thing I was thinking is they could have a submarine come in. And then guess what? I look, it's like I'm predicting the future. It's really crazy. And then, oh, NASA, really, they don't do things normally in the sea, but they're going to this time, an active volcano and when a hurricane's coming. I mean, does anybody else see this? Okay, look at this. Now I want to talk about more things about what Hurricane Hector already came, and then Hurricane Lane is actually doing here. Okay, so here is an example of NASA's Hurricane Center, right? And they basically show this. It's when it really just started making news. I mean, when it was a possibility, which is on yesterday, is when it really kind of hit the news. Even though I've been talking about it way before that, and even the time frame and everything, and it's going to hit that time frame. Which is, how do I know that? Well, it's in other sources. It's predicted. It's already predicted. It's already planned. So here you have on Wednesday. Oh, hey, like I said, here's that same old movie plot that's been done in the past with these other hurricanes and stuff. Oh, hey, it's in the path of Hawaii. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And so people go, oh, and then what do they do next? They do this. Oh, not that. Sorry, I went to the wrong slide here. So then they do this. Oh, hey, look. It's not, no, it's no big deal. So the next day, so that was Wednesday. Now this is Thursday, and it shows the path. Oh, hey, it's no big deal now. It's going to go south, so don't worry about it. And then so everybody that's possibly could be affected, they're like, oh, okay, well, we don't have to think about it. And so standard Americans, standard people, and then they lose interest because it's not like, this big story anymore. And then they don't think about it as much. That's most people. And so they want it out of sight, in a sense, out of mind. So you're not really thinking about it. But, that's not exactly what's happening. Okay, so I'm sorry this is not perfectly produced right now, and you don't have time to do editing, so it would take a lot longer, and I barely have time to do this really from working and family and everything, of course. So here, for example, is one of the more accurate models. It's the European model. It's a multiple models, but European system called GEFS. I have to start to become an expert at this kind of stuff or become knowledgeable in more of these kind of things. And I'm learning as I'm going here, because I don't know a ton about this stuff, and I'm learning kind of quickly. And that's usually how I do in a lot of this stuff. So this is the European model that's basically more accurate. So the American model, as we've seen in the past, like I said, has been inaccurate a lot, a lot. And I remember those times, like I said, Harvey, Irma, some of those examples. And then the massive amount of rain that, Harvey dumped on Houston and that kind of stuff. I mean, that was never even close to predicted, and how slow it went at that point and all that stuff. By the way, that was all designed. That is in iPad Goat. Um, it's crazy. So here we go. Here's an example. Remember, I just showed you that one model where it's going south. So at first, that first day, you're like, oh, hey, it's on the path to Hawaii. The next day, right away, the next day, oh, it's going south, kind of thing. Then they're going to have it go south a little bit more, and then they're going to kind of leave it there until it gets to the maybe a day or two away, and then it's going to go right up unexpectedly. Oh, it's going to hit that, and then I almost guarantee it's going to slow down. So see what happens there. Listen, I don't know the future. Again, I don't have a crystal ball. All I can do is speculate. I could be wrong, okay? But I think a lot of things point to this, things that are already in plans, things I'm showing you. So you decide, like I said. But here again is the GEFS models. And look at this, okay? Look at how close they are. And then look at this one that kind of strays. So if you kind of average these together, you're really close to Hawaii. And again, these are still days out. So these are just, educated guesses. But what they're not factoring is what we already know. And that is that they are manipulating these things, and I have evidence. Okay, so this happens to be an example of this anomaly that's coming from, South America. Basically, turn the bottom left of the screen, and it's going up to the top right, and you see that where the point ends, where this green circle is to the top right, and right to the left of that is basically Shan Shan. So this thing is shooting over here, and basically it was moving Shan Shan, and I have video of this. And then as soon as it basically hits this anomaly, the eye in Shan Shan lights up. Okay, and then this is around the same time, a little bit after this, was this other one. And let me show you that one here. Okay, and then here is another one coming up from the same area in Antarctica, and it's shooting up here. And there's video of this, and again, I have it on my channel, and you can check out Mr. MBB333. You can also check out Dabu7. It's DAHBOO77. Actually, he's called Dabu7, but he has Dabu77. And look at their channels, and you can see these different videos for yourselves where they show these actual things coming up from the same spot in Antarctica, and the effect, as soon as they shoot up here, look, shooting up to the left here, then they cause these three hurricanes. So that was Hector, and the one that's in the middle is Christy, and the one that's on the coast of Mexico, basically, or South America, and kind of Mexico there, is going to be, it was John. So as this thing shoots up, all three eyes light up, and so it charges them up. And then later, when I showed one of my other videos, when I show the infrared, when I show Hector getting close to Hawaii, then they shoot it again, and it basically causes it to basically start to deactivate, and it slows down and it kind of gets smaller all of a sudden. So basically, I have the evidence to show that they are actually manipulating these things, and there's much other evidence. If you look into this, again, I'm also mentioned geoengineeringwatch.org. You can go there. You can look at patents of all the technology they've done since the 40s, basically seeding clouds, making clouds, causing weather events, and all kinds of stuff. There's just all kinds of stuff out there if you look. But so this is not a coincidence that they're doing these things, and it's gonna, like I said, it's gonna be around the 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Like I said, even before that thing even started. Okay, I said that in my videos. So you have this submarine of NASA supposedly going to Hawaii, the same place where the volcano is, basically right off the coast there at that time. You know, think about this. If they want to use a sub to shoot some kind of nuke in the, torpedo or something like that, or even from the water, then people are going to think, hey, NASA's there or whatever. I mean, it's a cover story. So, believe me or not, it's up to you. But there's too many strange things going on. Here's evidence of them using this weapon, this energy weapon from Antarctica, to move these things. There's all kinds of evidence out there if you just look and open your eyes and understand. If you don't already know, the ones who know, my brothers and sisters, the ones who are aware, I'm basically kind of preaching to the choir, but I'm giving them more information to show them that stuff is coming. So we're in the season of this time. We're the season of the Lord's return. We're the season of, chaos starting to be created with all this. So just keep that in mind. And this is Exalted Lamb 1, over and out. Thank you.